Wakanda doesn't have its own visual culture. Across this country, we see Ndebele neck rings, Basutu blankets, Tuareg jewelry, Maasai beading, Suri lip plating, Ghanaian textiles, Igbo masks, and much more, which stands firmly at odds with the country's isolationist and nativist policies. The film's primary conflict is that Wakanda's access to vibranium has allowed it to develop into the richest and most advanced state in the world. And unlike other African nations, Wakanda has been able to avoid war, conflict, and Western interference through vibranium and hiding itself from the rest of the world. Killmonger, the film's antagonist, recognizes how sick and twisted it is for the Wakandans to have enjoyed this exceptional and unparalleled peace and prosperity, while Black people, people who look like them, people who share a home with them, across the world are displaced, enslaved, and brutalized. So then what you have is a country more than happy to appropriate the cultural production of these oppressed African states, but will never actively give back anything in the form of community, aid, and solidarity. All of this is to say that Wakanda's ability to have all these different African cultural references, to cherry pick elements from people who are suffering and oppressed, reveals that Wakanda is not an African state. What it is a capitalist, elitist, Western empire that just happens to be on the continent. It is essentially the American empire painted black. And what's most troubling is that the film's final message is that what makes the ideal African utopia is how much it behaves like an imperialist force. We don't need to take up arms or affect material change. Other things that don't affect us shouldn't be our concern. We do not need to demonstrate empathy for people across the world. The CIA can be good, actually. It just happens to have a few bad eggs. A little revolution is fine as long as we always maintain the status quo. And this isn't to say that I think Ruth E. Carter is secretly an African-American supremacist or that she's intentionally advocating for a United States of Africa. I think this all goes to show how brilliant of a costume designer she is, demonstrating this high level of research, skill, and ultimately care that can even inspire all of this thinking and discourse, because that's what good art should do. Even if some of the questions and answers are uncomfortable, I'm glad that they exist in the first place.